Hello everyone, this is Kaizouwar here, and I really wanted an excuse to talk about Tales of Berseria because I feel like it's about damn time I did so. Tales of Berseria was the very first Tales game that I really got invested to. Honestly, the characters are really amazing. The music is top-notch Motoi Sakuraba. Honestly, have you guys ever heard the overworld themes for this game? It's unbelievable that no one talks about the overworld themes for this game because it's some of the best overworld music I've ever heard in my life for a video game ever. Anyway, as I said before, the characters are great, the music's amazing, the voice work in both Japanese and English is just beyond extraordinary, and I just love the game. Like, the game is, like, caught me off guard about how good it was. If you were to call me a Tales of Berseria shill, so be it, right? You know, I don't care. I honestly don't care. I love this one game. The only Tales game I played before Berseria was Xillia, and I really wasn't into Xillia all that much, but thanks to Berseria, I might go back to give Xillia another shot, because I feel like I did that game kind of dirty. I just kind of skimmed through it, and I just didn't get attached to anything, and I just felt like, you know what, I'll put this game down and maybe come back to it in the future, and I never did. But thanks to Berseria, again, I might do that. The point is, I thoroughly enjoyed Berseria. I really hold that game up to a very high standard, right? And it's thanks to Berseria I went back to play games like Vesperia, which is pretty good. Not my favorite, but it's really good. And Arise, again, not my favorite, but these games are all fun as hell. Like, I feel like no matter what issues you have with these Tales games, from the ones I've played so far, they have been super fun on the gameplay front and the characters and all that stuff, right? I've thoroughly enjoyed everyone I've played as in those games and all the little side things with the characters and the skits and all that. I've really had a good time playing these games. I really do. And that's why I want to see this specific game, Berseria, get ported to the Switch. Now, I feel as if this game would be right at home on the Switch. And I feel like it could be ported to the Switch with, not too many issues. I know a lot of people tend to downplay the Switch, but I get it. There's some games that have to take compromises for being on the Switch. But at the same time, I really feel like the Switch is being, downplayed significantly all the time. Because I believe there's some games that really do look good on the Switch, and there's some ports that really do come out well, like Nier Automata, that had to take a hit. But the game is essentially all there, and you can still play Nier Automata without having any crazy issues. Honestly, I was genuinely shocked that game was a damn miracle port. But that just goes to show how well those games can be ported to the Switch without any issues. And I hope that Berseria, if it ever did get ported to the Switch, that it wouldn't be a problem out the gate. But knowing how some of these other Tales games have been ported to the system most recently, like Tales of Symphonia, I have my issues with that. Until now, I just did not realize how many times that Tales of Symphonia has actually been ported, because I forgot that, okay, Tales of Symphonia originally came out in 2003 in Japan, right? It's on the GameCube. Then it gets ported over to the PS2, and they call it Tales of Symphonia Chronicles, and then they put that on on the PS3 with Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World, which is a sequel, and they released that back around in 2014, and then they put that HD port on PC in Steam. Then they remastered the game again for PS4, Xbox 360, and Nintendo Switch in 2023. I just did not realize until now how many times that Symphonia has jumped around. It's actually kind of crazy. But yeah, the HD versions of Tales of Symphonia have not been doing so hot, honestly. I've heard a lot of issues that Symphonia's upper ports, I call them upper ports, have not been doing so hot. They've had a lot of issues. They've been, jank with graphical issues, audio issues, screen transition issues. Like, I've played just about an hour of the copy I had of Symphonia, right? And it was just bad. And thankfully, it's been patched. It's been patched to hell and back. But the Switch version has had a lot of issues. The Switch version has specifically taken, like, the most crap. And it's kind of weird, considering the fact that this game came out in 2003. Weird out that this game never got packaged with Dawn of the New World. I know a lot of people don't like Dawn of the New World. I never played it for myself, but I heard a lot of people hate that game. But the point is, I'm genuinely surprised they just remastered just Symphonia. Maybe they're going to remaster Dawn of the New World someday. Don't know. The point is, this exists, and it runs better now this game didn't do too hot out the gate, and that's a big issue because like Vesperia, I also heard that it was also bad out the gate. Not super bad as Symphonia, but a lot of issues. And I know I've heard there was a bunch of grammatical mistakes. There was also the little localized lines being like weird because like the main character Yuri also had a new English VA because his original VA was Troy Baker. Now he's voiced by Grant George, and they didn't really put the audio too low. Put the audio too consistent together, which I don't know why I just couldn't redub it, but that's beside the point. And there was the Switch versions had like. In the Switch version, this game had like some weird game-breaking bug, and it just shut down all the time. But from when I played it, it hadn't given me too many issues, which I assume that Bandai Namco have just patched all that shit out. There's a lot of still issues with the whole, audio stuff like that, so that's not gonna, ever gonna change. They really could have just redubbed the game. But the point is, that's gonna happen, right? And I noticed seeing how specifically the Switch versions of Berseria and Symphonia have come out, and they've come out the gate kind of jank. It makes me worry about what's going to happen if Berseria got ported over. Like, Bandai Namco have done really good ports. I really like to put my hat into like the Ninja Storm games because I've played all of them and they have not given me crazy issues on the Switch. They weren't so like different that where it just threw my perception off the games, right? They still played right, they still were fun, and they still felt like back when I played them on the PS4 and PS3 and all that junk, right? But Berseria, I don't know. I feel like that game might come out kind of jank, and I really, really don't want that to happen because that you only get like one chance to make a first impression. A lot of people who've probably never played Berseria before will be probably playing it for the first time on the Switch. And if it comes out ass, that's what people's perception is going to be on it. Ass. Some people aren't going to just wait around to like want the game to get better later. Like if you're going to come out with a game like 40, 50, 60, 70 bucks, you kind of want it, working properly and playing right out the gate. And I paid $40 for Symphonia, and I could tell you this, that game pissed me off in the first hour because of this jank port. I know Symphonia is a beloved game. I definitely want to give it a try now because hopefully they patched out all the issues so I can actually play the game and see how beloved it is because I definitely want to give it another shot. But again, that turned me off, right? That first initial issue turned me off. And again, nobody wants to wait around for the game to get better, right? If you want to buy a game and play it then, you kind of want to play it then. But yeah, I do believe that if Berseria did get ported over, there is going to be some kind of issue. It just seems a little bit too consistent so far. We already had 2 Tales games already come out the gate kind of bad. They've been patched. They've been patched to play better now. But the point is they came out originally not so hot, right? And Berseria, I feel like, is going to suffer the same fate. I don't want this game to come out on the Switch and people, shit on and hate it, all that stuff like that. Because I really want people to enjoy this game, right? I really want people to enjoy this game the moment it gets ported over. Now, I'm saying this as if like they're going to port the game at any moment. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to port this game or not. I would love to. It would be nice to be seeing Tales of Berseria Definitive Edition on the Switch. Or, there'd be no reason to port it anywhere else. It'd be good to get a Switch port. I mean, it's already on PS4, which you can just play on your PS5, but seeing how companies like to put PS4 games on PS5 and just treat that as its own new version, I guess Berseria will be getting a PS5 version as well, if that was the case. That would be pointless, but I could totally see it. But, yeah. There's many ways to play the game now. I mean, you got the Steam version, again, always going on sale. You still go play it on PS4. If you have a PS5 as well, you can play the PS4 version of the game. It's just like, you got some ways, but I would love for it to be on the Switch. That's all I really wanted to ramble about. I just wanted to talk about Berseria for a reason, because I just been thinking about this topic for a while now, and I just had no other way of expressing it. Should Tales of Berseria get a Switch port? Yes. Do I think it's going to come out kind of jank? Yes. Do I think they'll just patch up to be better again? Yes, but I don't want it to come out all shitty. I want it to come out good, as the game deserves to be.